So this is something of a ramble. It's 5:20 in the morning AM on the 10th of December. So I've just been sleeping for a while and I've woken up because I have some things on my mind. And the things on my mind I suppose are fairly random, but philosophical I think is the way to describe them. A few things are concerning me or on my mind, and one of them is death. I don't mean in a negative way, but I'm wondering how long I will live. I'm 47, and I realize that I could die tomorrow. I might have some horrible natural event that leads to my death tomorrow, or I could live to over 100. I am fairly healthy as far as I know. My dad lived into his 90s at least. I don't know the details because I've had a problem that's led to memory loss, but he was definitely in his 90s at least. So that suggests that I could possibly live long as well. So 47, I suppose, is possibly bang on middle age for me. Or if things go positively, I could be less than middle age. Maybe I haven't reached middle age yet. It's so strange to not know how long life will last. I find that I'm not too concerned with how long I live, really. I feel I've achieved a lot in life. I wouldn't feel frustrated about dying at a certain age, whatever. I wouldn't feel I hadn't done stuff. I feel I've done stuff. And to be frank, I'm quite proud of what I achieved in life. I still could have done more, but I think I achieved pretty much what I set out to achieve, I would say, which is a very important thing to be able to say. I mean, I never wanted to be rich. There's never a desire to be rich. It would have been nice, but there was no need for me to earn excessive amounts of money. I did want to earn a good amount, and I think I was earning, well, on a salary basis, I was earning 50,000 or so around the 2012 period, I think, which was a significant amount of money at that time. I have no idea what a good salary is now, but it was good for the time, that's for sure. Then I went into private business, and I think my earnings went down, but it was really good to know that I was earning it for myself. So I didn't spend a great deal, so it was always a good income. So I'm happy with the money that I earned. It was definitely fine for what I wanted to do. I suppose that's what matters in life. If you have the money you need to do the things you want to do, then that's good. So the amount you earn is not really the main thing. It's whether it's enough for what you want to do. And I definitely achieved that. So that's good to know. So I am wondering how long I'll live. If I'll live to 100 odd, or if I'll live to 60, or if I'll get some disease or something, or some other accident. I've already had one accident which has led to my brain injury and difficulty in life, but there could be more to come if I'm lucky. So yeah, there are some things on my mind. I think one of the things on my mind was knowledge, and if there is a limit to knowledge, I suppose there must be, because you can't be everywhere at once. But I'm wondering if maybe the Encyclopedia Britannica or whatever, maybe that's how we judge what we know as an entire human race. Do we say, well, what we know is in the Encyclopedia Britannica, so there is the extent of human knowledge. I'm not aware of how we judge what we know, how we measure what we know as an entire species. I was wondering, for example, how much a grain of rice weighs. I don't know why I was wondering, there was some reason, but I was wondering, how much does a grain of rice weigh in grams? I don't know what percentage of a gram it weighs, but there must be someone somewhere who has calculated how much a grain of rice weighs. And then I was thinking I could hit Google to try and find out someone. And then I was thinking about how Google is so much in control of what we know and what we can find out. And it is so much a gateway to knowledge. And I'm sure there must be some organization somewhere who is targeting Google about Google controlling access to data and access to knowledge. And it is so unfortunate that the people who run Google probably are controlling information delivery to some extent for business reasons. And there's no criticism here, it's just unfortunate that things have to be this way. But my sense, my understanding is that to whatever extent Google controls access to information, Google, for me, is still the main route to information that I'm aware of. There are probably other systems, but I'm not aware of what they are, and I haven't found a need to move to them yet. I'm not too concerned with Google making it as money, provided I can do what I want to do. And I do find I can do what I want to do using it. So I think humanity is such a strange organism. It functions so well despite all of the problems of humanity. The war, the aggression, the avarice, the selfishness. It's just incredible. It's nice to be part of a species that is the top dog, as far as we know. I suppose in the entire universe so far. So I think I mentioned already that I was thinking about how death could come to me tomorrow or in 100 years or so. I said my dad lived to over 100, I believe. So I could have 50 or 60 odd years. It's just incredible that I could live again as long as I've lived already. And I'm amazed that I can remember the names of my primary school teachers. Some of them. And my primary school friends. So that's 35 to 40 years ago. My memory is so strange. I can remember those people, yet I can't remember where I live. My memory is so outrageously damaged. And I can't remember what my children look like. The only thing I know about my children are their names. It frustrates me enormously that I can't help them in life. With no memory, I am pretty much useless to them. And I'm thinking it's probably highly unlikely my memory will return. I say that, but then I shouldn't be alive, as I think I found out somehow that my injury was very severe, so the fact that I'm alive is very good. And so anything could happen. I might wake up tomorrow and my memory is restored. No one can say. There's something else on my mind. I think I was wondering about knowledge, possibly. Thinking, can we know everything? Obviously, things change all the time, but I think we can know pretty much everything. And for me, Google is the way, the route to that knowledge. And that's why I was wondering what a grain of rice weighs. And I know there's someone somewhere who has calculated what the average grain of rice weighs. And there's probably someone who's calculated the average number of grains of rice in a packet of rice that you buy, or according to a certain weight or whatever. It is truly astounding the range of knowledge we have and the things that we want to know. And it's very, very likely that the things you want to know are findable on Google. And whatever you want to know, there's probably someone else who has thought of that as well. There's probably someone somewhere who has wanted to know what the average grain of rice would weigh. Well, I would say, I don't know how to describe it, but I would say that there is very little that you would want to know that someone somewhere hasn't wanted to know also and may already have made progress towards learning it. So it's like this average grain of rice is a completely pointless thing to know, but I'm betting someone somewhere has wanted to know the same thing and has probably made progress towards finding out. Another thing I might want to know is what's the thickness of a sheet of paper. That's probably established somehow. Um, there are so many things, and I'm betting that almost anything I can think of, someone has thought the same thing and possibly made progress to understanding it. I'm thinking, what if I wanted to know something strange, like how much does no, that's putting it wrong. How many grains of sand would it take to make a ton of sand? There's probably someone somewhere who has worked that out. What else might someone want to know? I could say, no, that's very rubbish. There's so many things. I'm just wondering how difficult it would be to think of a question that doesn't have an answer. What kind of question could I dream up that wouldn't have an answer? I could ask a question like, how many leaves are on an average tree? And I'm thinking there's probably someone somewhere who has wanted to know how many leaves on an average tree. I'm thinking 200,000 leaves on a substantial tree. And there's probably someone somewhere who's wanted to know the same thing. So it is strange to try and conceive of a question that doesn't have an answer somewhere. Like, I'm just thinking randomly now, how many grains of sand would it take to fill an average swimming pool? There's probably someone that's answered that question. Um, I don't know. I can't think of a question at the moment for some reason. But the point is that whatever question I thought up, I don't know if it's correct to say it's probably been thought up by someone else, or possibly. But it's very difficult to be entirely original in thought, I would say. I'm wondering if there's some website somewhere where you can pose questions that occur to you. Like, for example, the average number of grains of sand in a average swimming pool, something like that. I'm wondering if there's some internet place somewhere where you can just post whatever question you want, even if there's no chance of an answer. Like, for example, how much water could an average person drink, until they reach the limit? Would it be 5 liters? Like, could an average person drink 5 liters of water before they would have to stop? Something like that. I'm betting there would be an answer if I hit Google now and said how much water could a person drink. There's an answer out there somewhere, I would bet. It's amazing that we have places where we can organize our information and make it accessible. And it's amazing how much information there is out there and the things that people want to know. Absolutely stunning. So I am wondering what I'm doing with myself in my life now. It's strange to be living with such a mystery in what I'm doing. It's so strange to be just surviving day to day and not. I'm so used to having some objective somehow, somewhere I've got to be, something I've got to be doing, and to be just existing is very strange. I wouldn't say it's frustrating because I don't have memory, I don't feel the time passing so much. But at the same time, I'm still aware of it, and so I'd still rather be doing something useful. But I'm glad to not be feeding the time passing and not being aware of it properly. So I have knowledge but not feeding related to the time passing. So I haven't got an answer to what life is now. Because there's so many unknowns about how much I'll improve or if I'll improve at all. So it might be a question of just surviving next day like this. I'm kind of halfway between wanting to be doing something useful, productive, but I don't feel the pressure to do so because I don't have awareness of it. So I do want to be doing something worthwhile, but at the same time I don't feel the pressure. So I could just live like this, I suppose. Because it is hard to feel frustration with no memory. So I'm sort of halfway towards feeling frustrated. I think mainly I'm just feeling tired all the time. I'm finding it a touch difficult to get to sleep. I get tired and I go to bed. And I start to get to sleep, but I don't feel like it's going to happen. But then next thing I know, I'm awake. So it does happen. I'm trying to think what else was on my mind. My memory problem craziness. So life does seem to be just surviving and not getting too bored because of no memory, which I suppose I'm grateful for. But I'm still feeling some kind of frustration. I'm not quite sure why. It must be that I have knowledge I'm not doing anything, and that might be frustrating me, but I don't have the feeling associated with it, which is a benefit. So, like, I have an academic knowledge of my doing nothingness, but I don't know the feeling. So, I'm kind of stuck as to what to be doing with myself. Yeah, I think it is fair to say that I simply don't know what my life is now. Part of me still wants to be doing something productive, but it does seem very pointless. I just really don't know what to be doing with myself. But I just don't have the pressure to be doing something. There's an academic pressure to want to do something rather than a normal feeling of being bored or whatever. I'm wondering if it's even possible for me to be bored with no memory. Yes, I find I'm frustrated, but I'm not bored. So it's more of an academic feeling that I'm not doing anything useful. The crazy thing, of course, is I'm not being a father. And it's tricky because I want to find out more about what my life is and how it got this way, but then I'll forget, so I have to find out and record it somewhere so I know. So I think maybe that's what I should be doing. So from tomorrow, I'll try and go through my audio recordings and talk to staff and say I want to find out more about how I got here so that I can record it. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I want to be doing something, even though I don't feel bored, I still want to be doing stuff.